Chapter 9, The Escape Chase. Bond, Double O Sleddy, and Taylor then drove from where Samity's ritual was to the Concord Hospital to check up on Melissa quickly. When the spies entered, she was delighted to see them. She was just about to leave the hospital from the ordeal. It was discovered that she was injected and given the same formula that Samity and the man with the handlebar mustache had created. She was just about back to normal. As the reunion was going on, Hannah and the two boys came into Melissa's room, since they went with her. "I want to thank you, boys, in helping save myself, Mr. Bond, and Hannah," Double O Sleddy said. "It was nothing," the slightly long-haired one said. "It was tubular," said the curly-haired one. "I can see the three of you are friends, and certainly would never give up on each other, and would never lie. Not to mention your moves and tactics were, well, 11 out of 10. They smiled. "And Hannah, I bet your parents are wondering where you are. I know you want to see the country, since you're a little older now, but your father is a U.S. president, after all. I'm sure he's wondering where you are." Hannah embraced both Double O Sleddy and Bond, and then winked back at them as she left with the two boys. Double O Sleddy then walked out of the room, and Taylor walked out to him. "Seems like James and Melissa are getting along better now." Double O Sleddy looked back at Bond, who seemed to be charming Melissa with every word. "I guess so. Look, I'm going to do some early reconnaissance on the plant. You and Bond meet me there, okay?" "All right. But you be careful, got it? I will say you were a wonder with that sword, woman. But still, I got it. You be careful, too." Taylor then got close to Double O Sleddy and kissed him on the cheek. Double O Sleddy's eyes grew big as Taylor walked off. Huh. Eventually, Bond and Double O Sleddy were joined by Melissa, since she wanted to still be with Bond, and got back in the truck and drove away. They turned onto Main Street and were immediately caught in a small traffic jam. Bond could notice that some people were walking on the sidewalk and noticing the truck more and more. "It does not appear that we're safe here." "How do you mean?" Melissa asked. "I think Samity still has some men who are out to get us," Bond replied. "There's no way we can escape with this jam, even if we walked." Bond then looked around the truck and the street and then saw an unoccupied vehicle they could use. "I do believe that it is time we enjoy this beautiful day in the neighborhood instead." Bond then got out of the truck and made his way to the vehicle. Double O Sleddy and Melissa got out and followed him. They then saw where he was going, and they were shocked. "I don't believe it," Melissa said. "You don't have to. With something like that, and with somebody like James, I believe you have to make believe," Double O Sleddy answered. They climbed in and Bond started the ignition. A giant trolley pulled out of a side street and started going down the farthest lane of Main Street. The group of spread out people who were keeping watch of the truck then got in some cars and went after the trolley. The bright green trolley traveled down the street. The traffic started to move again, but it was too late. The cars were in pursuit of the trolley and began firing at it. Every time a bullet hit the glass, Melissa and Double O Sleddy got down. Double O Sleddy kept Melissa down as he pulled out a spare Walther and shot back at the cars. Car horns and beeps would come from cars going by and trying to avoid the chase. A group of cars watched the chase go by and then started their engines. "Look what we have here," an officer in the driver's seat said. "Yeah, chases are my specialty. Let's go get 'em," a voice said in the back seat. Soon sirens began to blare and the police got involved. Bond turned and weaved in between the tight areas of the street. They passed such businesses such as the Capitol Center for the Arts, Pitchfork Records, Red River Theaters, and even the state capitol. Bond then turned a corner and went up another road, eventually taking the back roads to the opposite side of Main Street. He turned on to North Main Street. As they passed a small restaurant called the Gaslighter, two women stood out front watching first the trolley go by, then the chasing cars, and finally the police. "Those people are going to be sorry if they keep going that fast," said a woman with glasses and a waitress apron. "I know, they'll be hungry too. Let's get some gyros ready," a smaller woman in a cooking apron said. Bond then turned the trolley one more time and headed towards the community college called NHTI. Double O Sleddy and Melissa looked out the shot-up back window and saw the cars still after them. Bond looked behind them and then pulled the trolley over to a far-off parking lot and began to get away. The cars started to approach them until the police came from the other entrance and blocked their path. A handful of cops then got out and went over to the chasing cars, and two headed over to the spies and Melissa. "Hold it, I want him," the voice from before said. The back door of one of the police cars then opened, and out stepped a man that Bond knew all too well. "Well, well, well, what do we have here? If it isn't Mr. Look at Me, I'm a secret agent man." How have you been, Sheriff Pepper? Bond asked cordially.
Oh, I've been anxious to see you again, boy. I don't know if you knew that I believed that whole secret agent crap. I promised myself one day that I, Sheriff J.W. Pepper, would find you one day.
James, is he a friend of yours? Double S Lady questioned. Hardly. Sheriff J.W. Pepper, we've encountered each other a couple times, and they have not been the best. I imagine that he is just up here enjoying the fall foliage, just like those leaf peepers we've talked about.
Oh, you got that right, boy. But I knew that fancy driving of yours anywhere. And just who do you call these flim-flams, your cohorts?
Sheriff, if you would listen to me, I can assure you that we were not doing anything deliberately wrong. Those people were chasing us, and they work, or I guess they worked for, now, a crazed man. Can't say I've heard that one before, another voice said, approaching the group from a police SUV. Alex Match, thank God. Double O Slady shook the hand of his friend from the CIA. Daniel, James, I'm glad you're okay. Felix was hypnotized by Samity's flute playing and out of action. That's why that note had his name on it, but we were able to recover him and he's doing okay now. I'm taking over. That's good to hear, Alex, but we have to get up to that plant in Newington. One of Samity's henchmen is probably still there producing what he liked to refer to as the fear fog to theme parks and haunts all around the country. Well, then I can take you there, unless you would rather go clang, clang, clang on your trolley, James. Alex, I've come to realize that Concord doesn't seem like the type of place to drive that vehicle, but if you meet me in St. Louis, then perhaps I can reconsider. Bond and Double O Sledy, with Melissa not far behind, then climbed into Alex's car, and they all drove off to the power plant in Newington.